And you're listening to SwinGamers on Radio on 3SSR. My name is Sean.
And I'm Ricki.
And we're here for our first show of the year here, 2015. Yeah, man. I nearly got the year wrong.
You did.
It's March. It is nearly halfway through March, and already we're doing radio.
We're a quarter of the way through the year already. We've only just gone back to uni, and years go by way too quick these days. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit weird. Anyway, We've got a couple of things to talk about. For those of you who don't know, we've been a regular show here for a couple of years now, talking about video games and news in general to do with games. If you don't know yet, we do talk about games as well, and occasionally we do play and talk about games. So Ricki.
Yes, Sean.
All right, so what do we have on the menu for today?
Well, today, it is our first show back for the year, which is fantastic. So we'll be talking about our most anticipated of 2015.
Yep.
And we'll pretty much be covering everything we sort of missed during the break.
Which was a lot.
There's a bit of word from Bethesda. We'll be talking a little bit about GTA 5, which is one of my favorite subjects to talk about. And I've got a list here of shit to talk about, but
hey, language, come
look,
on.
I don't care.
Is this a community station? I'm pretty sure this is a community station.
Yeah, exactly. You can swear on community stations. There's no hierarchy to tell us not to swear.
Yeah, but if you keep it down and you keep it nice and neat and less vulgar language, and we could be shown in public places.
I know. Fine. I'll try to stop swearing.
Excellent.
Little.
Good, dickhead.
Yeah, thanks. A little bit about Bethesda. I've got my notes here now, and my mic's just cut out. Thank you.
Your mic's cut out? I can hear you perfectly fine.
Okay, my headphones have cut out then.
Your headphones always cut out. They cut out last year, and they're cutting out this year.
Hang on, give us 2 seconds.
What? Okay, so he's just going to change his headphones. Okay, just take from the other station. Okay, whatever.
Yep, that's good.
All right, can you hear what's happening now?
I can hear myself again, which
all right,
is good.
Perfect. You can take those sunglasses off. We're inside now.
Ah, true. Very true.
Yeah, perfect.
So, a bit of Steam VR news as well, and some blast from the past. A bit of Rock Band news as well.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I know, right.
Oh, dear. Okay, we'll get to that a little bit later. But first up, Bethesda. Fallout 4. Could be a thing.
Could be. Okay.
Could.
So Bethesda,
in Boston.
So earlier, it was either earlier this year or late last year.
I don't know. What are you referring to?
Well, the actual news that they're doing a presentation.
Yeah.
Presentation. That's sort of the word. Presentation. They're doing a presentation at E3 this year.
I only heard about that recently.
It was. I think it was early this year sometime. Maybe in February, maybe early late
that
June.
was like last month. So
yeah, I know. But anyway, so Bethesda have basically come out and said they're doing a presentation at E3, which is a slot usually reserved for Microsoft, Sony, and then like E3 and Ubisoft do... EA and Ubisoft do presentations because they are the sort of the big companies that everyone sort of invests in.
Yep.
Bethesda, relatively... I don't know, smaller company compared to those guys, but they've said we're doing an E3 presentation.
Usually they don't, which is the kind of like the big thing which has got a lot of people talking.
I don't think they have ever done an E3 presentation, to be honest.
Have they needed?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like,
did Skyrim have an E3 presentation?
No, I'm sure it had a trailer at maybe the Sony or Microsoft presentations, but they didn't have their own because usually these presentations go for about an hour.
Usually, yeah.
Roughly. Sony's ran on a bit long last year, which we discussed in our wrap-up of E3 video.
Which you can check on YouTube at youtube.com/SwinGamers. We do have our own channel with a bunch of stuff because I needed a segue to get to that. But anyway, let's go back.
Boom. Well done. So Bethesda have pretty much come out and said, look, we're doing a presentation at E3. This got a lot of speculation straight away, and most of the speculation has led towards Fallout 4. Pretty obviously, Fallout 4 is what a lot of people have been waiting for, and it's what a lot of people want from Bethesda. They have a lot of other IPs around, but Fallout is their mainstay, and a lot of people are expecting, they're going to be announcing Fallout 4.
You know, I've heard a little bit of news over the week. And let's not say it's news. Let's say it's rumors.
Rumors
or
and hearsay.
Unfounded rumors. Yeah, let's go with that. That Fallout 4 could possibly be based in Boston.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing as well. I was going to say, my expectation, if there is a Fallout 4 announcement, we will get just about the same amount, if not less, information as we got with for Mass Effect for last year, which was literally just a tech demo.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm expecting, if not the same, possibly less information for Fallout 4. And maybe a location.
Oh, location would be nice.
Yeah, that's pretty much like... And Boston / Philadelphia were the two that have sort of popped up a lot in talk ever since Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. They were the two sort of...
Well, you got to keep in mind that the game is fairly America-centric.
It is very.
So, I don't know, it'd be... Like, okay.
I think Boston would be a good setting for it.
It'd be impractical to have it anywhere else in the world, let alone, say, Australia. But,
yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, speaking of Australia in video games, as just like a minor little thing, there's a petition to have the next Far Cry in Australia.
Yeah, I did see that. That's actually... It would make a lot of sense.
That should so be a thing.
Yeah.
Imagine instead of eagles coming down and trying to kill you, you have kangaroos coming over to try and kick you to death.
And emus.
And
and
camels, because we do have camels.
We do, but like Far Cry 3 had cassowaries, which we also have in Far North Queensland.
Yes.
Could possibly be a thing.
But
you got dingoes, you got snakes, you got spiders, you got everything that wants to kill you. Sharks, crocodiles.
You're taking away from like Far Cry 4, and you had to, for want of a better word, harvest the natural wildlife of the area.
Yep.
What if you had to go find a bilby in order to complete your quiver? And then you have to go find one. Yeah, good luck with that.
Bilbies are hard to find.
Yeah, exactly. But what if that could totally be a thing? I could totally see you making a wallet out of bilby skin.
That's horrible. They're endangered, Sean. They're endangered.
Exactly. A lot of those sort of animals in Far Cry 4 were meant to be one-offs. Like you had this killer fish, or you had something like that. They were one-offs. Bilby, it's not one-off, but it's endangered. It would almost make sense to be like the final level sort of thing.
In Far Cry 4, you're killing elephants, which it highly illegal.
You kill elephants?
Yeah.
Have
you not done that yet?
I'm like a third of the way through the game, I have not killed an elephant because I don't want to.
Exactly,
I ride them.
And rhinos. I've killed rhinos.
Rhinos are...
They're bitches.
They're bitches.
They're a pain in the ass.
They're such a pain in the ass. They hit you twice. I'm on, bottom of the barrel 2 HP or something like that before I get mauled. And it's like, I don't even get a chance.
I was playing Far Cry 4 and I found with Far Cry 4, ammo is a lot harder to come by. At least in, the early game. When you have, a low sort of ammo clip and, And anyway, I was fighting a bunch of the rebels or whatever they're called. Anyway, I was shooting, ran out of ammo, and then because it automatically switches to your next weapon...
Yep.
It switched to landmines, so I accidentally threw down a landmine without meaning to. Anyway, I come back to the same area 5 minutes later after...
and you blow yourself up.
No, I blew a rhino up. I was the rhino was charging at me. I'm like, holy shit. And then it walked over the mine that I'd laid 5 minutes earlier accidentally and just blew up into the air. I'm like, that is fucking awesome.
Perfect.
That is so good.
I tend to use the bow in Far Cry 4.
Yeah, look...
I don't use any guns. I just use the bow, so that way I could just kill all the animals nice and easy, get 2 of the skins and all that sort of stuff. But you know what you would see? We've just had a suggestion. You know what you'd see in Far Cry in Australia?
Yes.
Dingo Stole My Baby quest.
Oh my God. It would happen.
It would have to happen.
Yeah.
And you go meet the baby. You go and try and get the baby, and the baby would be like, no, I've been growing up with these dingoes, or something like that. I reckon it almost have more potential for an Australian flavour than Borderlands pre-sequel did.
Yeah.
Even though that was made by an Australian company.
It was made by an Australian company, and they inserted a bit of Australian humour into the game.
A bit?
But a game that is Australia-centric, as in you play in either Australia or an environment very similar to Australia. Because all of these environments in Far Cry are fictional. The areas you are don't exist in the real world, but they base it off certain areas. So... it wouldn't technically be Australia, but it would be something very, very similar to Australia.
Yeah.
It would have all of our sort of natural fauna.
And flora?
I guess so.
Fauna's animals and flora is plants.
Yeah, the flora in Far Cry is very, very generic. I mean, you were pretty much chopping up the same green plants in Far Cry 4 as you were in Far Cry 3.
But it doesn't matter because it looks so pretty.
I know. And Far Cry 4 looks insanely pretty.
Anyway,
shit.
Let's step away from the Far Cry world and just get back to Fallout.
Go back to Fallout for a sec.
Get back from this little tangent that we're on.
We always go off on tangents. It's fine.
Just a little.
Like I said, look, my big expectation is we will get a tech demo of some environments for Fallout 4 and maybe a confirmation of location. That's it. I'm not expecting a title. I mean, if they're going to just call it Fallout 4, then that's fine.
Where do you reckon it would fit in the timeline of Fallout games? Do you reckon it would be like almost similar to where Fallout 3 was? So there was a fair bit of time which had happened after?
Yeah, I would.
Or do you think it would happen a little bit closer to Fallout?
I think it would be more around like the Fallout 3 timeline. You're playing pretty much a character in a different situation, but around about the same time.
Okay.
Because Fallout 3 was a massive success for them. And it delved a lot into, like your sort of the first generation of people born after this big event. And then you're going back out into the world. And I think that was a really, really compelling sort of a storyline. People really enjoyed it. And obviously with the New Vegas, it wasn't really it was a completely different game, wasn't it? New Vegas. It wasn't really an expansion. It was a completely new game. But they explore that as well. I think maybe even later on, maybe second, third generation.
That's what I'm starting to think. I'm starting to think what if your parents or whatever had, or even your grandparents had ventured out, and then your parents had been born, and now you've been born into this world, similar to a lot of the NPCs that have been born who you had met in Fallout 3.
Yep.
So a lot of the kids and all that sort of stuff, you'd be sort of on their level, so you wouldn't know the Vault.
Yeah, exactly.
The Vault would be something that your grandparents talked about, as in, that's their war story. Maybe they were born in the Vault, and the Vault was their life. They didn't know what happened before, and now your parents and yourself, all you've known is outside of the Vault. I feel like that's the next step if they were to continue that sort of story arc. Otherwise, totally in line with Fallout 3, same time frame, your first generation born, and then to leave the Vault, that would make sense.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same page as you there. It was a really good story type. Fallout 3 was obviously like I said, a massive success, and it sort of hinged on the fact that you were born in the Vault. You sort of grew up there for the first sort of hour of the game. You got to sort of know that world, and then you ventured out and explored the world at large, which was really, really cool. So I think they're going to go with that formula again, or change it up and go sort of a bit further in the future where you are second, third generation outside of the Vault. This world really well, and I think something like a Boston or a Philadelphia, something like that, because they like to sort of hinge it around I guess iconic places in America's history. And something like a Boston or a Philadelphia, very, very iconic in America's history. So basing it around there would make a lot of sense. And like you said, Boston is something that's been thrown around ever since Fallout 3. Like Fallout 4, Boston is something I've been hearing for years now. So I think that is where it's going to go. So look, the other thing too is obviously Bethesda isn't all about Fallout.
Yep.
And Bethesda are also now, believe the proprietors or owners of id Software and Doom, which has been talked about for about half a year now. They've been talking about Doom, and that's another thing I'm quite looking forward to, because I quite enjoyed Doom 3.
Yeah, I did like Doom 3. I found it interesting that, well, not interesting. It almost made sense that they made a remake of it for now it's last gen consoles.
Yeah.
It makes sense that they made a port for it. It just feels like, I don't know, they can't really go much else unless they really expand the story.
Yeah, well, that's what I feel like. The new Doom that's where it's going to go. That's what a lot of people have been talking about. It's like, we can take this franchise to a whole nother level. Doom 3 was good, slightly repetitive towards the end.
Yep.
I found like I just sort of was doing the same thing over and over again. But I think...
honestly, I haven't finished Doom 3. It scared me shitless.
Oh yeah, like
it's like, hello darkness, my old friend. Here's my flashlight.
Yeah, I made the mistake of playing that game pretty much solely at like 2 a.m. in the morning, with all the lights off in the house, and you're looking around going, where's that noise coming from? Hello, Lachlan.
Yeah, there you go. It's coming from outside the window.
He's not coming? Okay.
No, he's pissing off.
He's got class. Poor bastard.
Have fun with class.
Yes. If you all remember Lachlan from last year. He's unfortunately not going to be able to join us for this semester at least. But,
due to classes. Anyway.
Due to class, but anyway. He was just really, really scary.
A Doom 4 would be interesting.
It would be. It would be. But
would you put it in the same bracket as, say, Quake? Because Quake 4 was almost a completely different take on Quake, and then they had enemy territory Quake Wars. I'm going all over the place. So they've kind of expanded the Quake universe.
Yeah.
Do you think they will go along the same line with Doom, or do you reckon they'll kind of follow the story and the arc that they've started to create?
I think it may be a little bit of both, because a lot of talk is this is just going to be called Doom, not Doom 4. It's going to be called Doom, which is what a lot of games have been doing lately. They've been going back to their roots and going, okay, this is a new version of the same story we've already told. So I think that they're going to expand on elements of the story that they can, but keep it as familiar as possible to the fans of the series so that they get people coming back to the game.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what they do, but that's another thing that I expect from Bethesda's conference at E3 is a confirmation on maybe a release date or a rough timeline of when Doom is going to be the next Doom is going to be coming out. Because aside from Fallout, it's probably one of their bigger properties, and my headphones have just died again.
Yeah, great. You know what another big property of Bethesda's is? Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, exactly. That was what I was about to get onto. It's they have Fallout, they got Doom, which they purchased through id Software.
They had Brink, but that kind of died. I really enjoyed the build up to Brink, and I thought it was going great, and then it kind of just sucked.
Yeah, they tried to stuff too much into Brink. I think they had a great premise, but there was sort of an overload of content.
It felt like it was too much of a multiplayer game.
Yeah, which was a bit of a shame.
That's what killed it for me.
Yeah,
and there's Battlecry as well.
Yeah, Battlecry. That's something that's the thing. Bethesda do have a lot of these properties, and they are sort of up there with a Ubisoft or an EA, where they got multiple properties that they can sort of present to the public, and it is worth them having a conference. If they've said, we want to do something at E3, obviously there's something big that's going to be at the end of their conference.
It almost makes sense it almost makes sense that this may not this may be a bit of Fallout 4, but Battlecry got its first its first world preview at PAX last year.
Yep.
Here in Australia. It would almost make sense that Battlecry was the next thing they were going to push. So this entire thing could be just Battlecry and say, oh, by the way, guys, Fallout 4 anyone?
Yeah.
That's how I feel it would be. It would be primarily Battlecry.
Yeah, I expect them to open with Battlecry. Because it is a relatively new-ish IP. It's something they want to push. They're everyone knows we do Fallout. Everyone knows we do Elder Scrolls. Here's something new. That's probably what they'll open with. And then they'll close with something that is familiar. And in between, you'll get sort of the smaller IPs that they own. Here's what we're doing for the next 12 months.
It's like how Sony closed out, I think it was E3 last year with Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
They just oh, by the way, here's a trailer you guys might enjoy.
Yeah.
Uncharted 4. And everyone was oh my God, so much.
Look, Microsoft does it every single year with Halo. I mean, even if there's not a Halo, before Halo 4, 2 years before Halo 4, they had that small, tiny little teaser trailer. There was nothing to it at all except for Cortana saying, Chief, Chief, Chief. Year after, we got the trailer, the playable, or the gameplay trailer for Halo 4.
Yeah.
So I think, they know how to, sort of drag everyone in and go, hey, look at all this cool stuff, but you got to watch till the end to get exactly what you want. And people want Fallout 4, and they're going to watch the conference till the end to get anything, any little bit of information.
But also, you got to keep in mind that you can't start stretching that too early. You can't go try and get people's attention too early in the whole marketing process before you actually release the product. So, for example, Zoolander 2, you've got Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson crashing a catwalk party. Yeah, that's great fun for a Zoolander 2 film, which is coming out in February next year. So they're 11 months early on something like that. Yeah, I get it's a film, but Halo okay, because it is such a huge thing for Microsoft and for the Xbox, I can understand them trying to get in, let's say, 2 years early.
Yeah.
But if something like Fallout 4, unless it's coming out at the end of this year...
Which I don't think so.
Yeah, which I don't think so either. Just try and avoid it. Like Kingdom Hearts 3 came out and everyone was like, holy shit, Kingdom Hearts 3... Have we seen anything yet? No. Will we see anything this year? Possibly.
Probably.
But that's this year.
Yeah.
And chances are we'll probably see it second half of the year, and that's over 12 months.
Yeah.
How long do you have to wait before it's considered too long?
But this is why I equate it to Mass Effect, like the Mass Effect teaser from last year's E3. It was literally just a tech demo of environments. It gave you the tiniest little bit of a tease, but it was enough to make fans of the series go, okay, I want to know more.
Same as the Star Wars Battlefront?
Exactly. Star Wars Battlefront was just literally an like pre-alpha demo of environments and like the AT.
And now, and the AT-AT. And now they've got like a 20-second trailer of literally just snow, and then you see the foot of an AT-AT come down. It's like, Star Wars Battlefront, you will buy this.
Exactly. Like, I mean, and that's scheduled for the end of this year. So I think like
now it's scheduled.
Yeah, it is. But I think like the sort of the 18-month sort of time period where it's like, okay, at E3, because it falls in the middle of the year, we're going to give you a little bit. And then for a year, let it gestate and let like rumors come out and like, whether it's leaked by
any publicity. Any publicity is good publicity.
Whether it's leaked by other sources, whether it's leaked by the company themselves, just let it leak for a year. That year is the year they spend pretty much developing the game. So the development studio is in lockdown. They are working on the game. Come a year later to E3, then they do a full demo, like a gameplay demo or something, and then the game releases usually,
within the next 6 months.
Blockbusters drop, November, December sort of
time period. October, November.
October, November, December time period. So basically there's like sort of been this 18-month cycle that a lot of AAA titles have been going through lately. 18 months beforehand, you get sort of a tease. Then you get a full year of just rumors here and there, and you know that the developers are working on it full bore. You come to 6 months before release, and then you get a full like sort of look at the game, and then 6 months later, it's released.
Yeah.
And that has been working really, really well for 343 Industries. It's been working really, really well for fucking EA and
Bethesda. And everyone like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I expect this announcement of Fallout 4 to be a very, very small tech demo.
If
anything. And then maybe, if we're lucky, we get the location of the game. That's it.
All right.
Like, it'd be really, really cool if it was just literally like you saw a bunch of barren sort of wasteland, like, buildings.
This is Boston.
Buildings crumbling and shit. And then you either get something iconic in Boston, or you get, say, if it was in Philadelphia, you get a shot of the Liberty Bell right at the end.
Yeah.
That's all you need to whet the appetite of fans for another year. And then they can go and speculate on all the forums and stuff, and there can be stuff released for an entire year, and it sort of builds to the mythos of this game. And then a year later, next year's E3, they put out a tech demo, or a full demo of the game, and people are just like, brilliant, and it's coming out in November, awesome, and they've pretty much sold all their copies straight away.
Yeah.
Essentially.
All right, so that's Fallout 4 and that whole thing in a nutshell. We're going to take a break.
We are.
We're going to be back after this.
Yep.
So you're listening to SwinGamers on radio on 3SSR. We'll be back right after this song. And we're back. You're listening to SwinGamers on radio on 3SSR. My name is Sean.
And I am Ricki.
And that was Enter Shikari with Destabilize.
Lovely song.
Yeah, you reckon?
Yeah, not
Have
bad.
you ever heard it before?
Not that Enter Shikari song. I've heard a few Enter Shikari songs
I'm
before,
guessing like Juggernaut.
Yeah, definitely Juggernauts.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few more.
And Sorry You're Not a Winner. It would have been the very early stuff.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were just talking before the break about Fallout 4.
Yep.
And going off on tangents of that.
Indeed.
What do we have up next, Ricki, on our list of things to do?
Well,
it's a shopping list.
I sort of want to talk about Rock Band. Because it's
or you just feel compelled.
It's something that over the break, I was following all the sort of the major gaming news outlets, and the one thing that sort of kept popping up was like Rock Band and what was the other one? Guitar Hero. Sort of trying to make a comeback. It was like, okay, this is weird, but I don't know what more they can offer us.
The same shit, new songs.
I know, but they've nearly hit every single iconic rock song they could possibly do. Like, with just the list you get when you first get the game, plus all the DLC they've ever released. Like, I don't know, like, what do you think about having Rock Band or Guitar Hero on the next-gen console? Do you think it's something that will
I wouldn't give two shits.
Reinvigorate the franchise, or do you think it's just going to fall by the wayside?
I wouldn't give two shits, to be honest. Like, I've got Rocksmith on the 360, and that's probably the bridge that Guitar Hero and that sort of stuff needed to make. So yeah,
but I tried to play it at your place. I found it extremely counterintuitive because I've played guitar for a few years now, and I just did not. Because it's marketed as something to teach you how to play guitar, whereas Guitar Hero and Rock Band are just fun games
to play along with songs.
Fun games to do when you're pissed with your mates.
Really? Not for kids?
Well, yeah, it is for kids, but like my experience with Rock Band and Guitar Hero were when me and my mates were on the piss having a bit of fun.
Yeah.
So
I found that a lot of like games which are aimed for kids, when adults play, they're better on the piss.
Mario Kart.
Exactly.
Yeah. But
like drunk Mario Kart, like we've had that at one of our gamers nights, and I really want to do it again. If you don't know what drink driving Mario Kart is, the idea is you have a pot of beer, and you have to finish the race after you've drunk that beer. You need to drink that beer before you finish the race. Now the thing is, you cannot drink and drive at the same time. So, in order to drink it, you have to pull over to the side of the road.
Yep.
So, some people might do a sip here, do a sip there, that sort of stuff. If they get hit with a red shell, they'll just stop and drink a little bit. Other people will just scull at the starting line after they do their boost and then go. So, there are a whole range of ways to play it. But anyway, I reckon that's like one of the best games for Mario Kart involving alcohol. Yeah,
it is quite enjoyable. But like me and my mates, like if just we're at a friend's place having a few beers, then someone would break out Guitar Hero. And it's a bit of fun for, half an hour or so.
Yeah.
But the fact that they've sort of like, because the company that originally did Guitar Hero, Neversoft, gone out of business. Because Guitar Hero was where they sunk all of their money, and it went by the wayside, and they just lost all their money. So whoever, like Rock Band is the one that's sort of been popping up a lot more. People going, okay, at E3 this year, there's possibly going to be a presentation for Rock Band, and they're going to bring it to the current gen consoles.
Yeah.
And you really don't think that it's going to go anywhere. There's nothing really more that the series can add to what it's already given us.
Well, what can you add besides more buttons to make it more like a guitar?
Yeah, I know.
That's kind of like my thinking process.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the same way. It's like they've hit all the really, really big rock ballads that you could possibly have fun with on Guitar Hero or Rock Band. I don't really think there's not really much left for them to do, and I don't really see the appeal because like they were releasing games like every 6 months. It felt like you had Rock Band 1, Rock Band 2, Rock Band Beatles, Rock Band Led Zeppelin, Rock Band this and that.
We sing Robbie Williams.
Aerosmith. And then all of a sudden it just died so quickly. Like it was gone. And like honestly, we've broken it out at events that we've done once or twice.
Yeah, we've done a Rock Band event I think 3 times now.
Yeah, and like we'll maybe at a 24-hour LAN we'll crack it out for like an hour or two. That's it.
Oh, I wouldn't go further than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the Rock Band events, like the first one got about 20 people or so, which was good.
Yeah.
But the ones afterwards didn't really, because like once you have your full band, like you rotate, but that's about it.
Yeah, and once you play through the songs a couple of times, you pretty much memorize them, and it's not really that much of a challenge anymore, which was half the fun of these games was the challenge. Once you mastered it, there was no real reason.
It was just listening to the songs.
Yeah, there was no replayability really. Like up until you've mastered a song, great. You move on to the next song, you do that. It's very repetitive sort of play style. It's interesting to sort of think like, why have they bothered to try to resurrect this franchise and game style? I guess.
Why do you reckon?
I think
what would be your thinking if you were someone in the shoes of I think it's not Harmonix. Who does Rock Band?
I have no idea. I was always a Guitar Hero guy, so Guitar Hero was never soft for me. Yeah, I never got into Rock Band, only because I felt like the peripherals were a lot cheaper feeling. Like I played both, But I played Rock Band, and I was just like, the guitars feel a bit cheaper. The drums were never that great. Like when Guitar Hero World Tour introduced all like the full instrument.
Yep, the full instruments
lineup. Yeah. I went to my cousin's for Christmas one year, and they got it for Christmas. And like the drum kit felt very, very responsive. The guitars were good. The microphone was good. Played Rock Band, and I felt like everything was sort of a little bit cheaper and more plasticky, and just didn't feel quite as good in my hands. So I've got no idea who developed Rock Band.
Okay. Well, I'm having a look.
Okay.
At the moment, on the interwebs, if they decide to load.
Oh no, it's quite slow. I'll do some banter.
There you go. Harmonics.
Harmonics. It is.
So it is harmonics.
There you go.
I was right.
Yeah. Good
Damn
work.
straight.
Good work. So I really am trying to find the appeal. Like, I understand that it was a massive money grab for them back when it was like the thing that everyone was loving. And they made a lot of money off not just the games, but all the peripherals that came with the game. I'm pretty sure like the full band setup for Rock Band, like with the game, 2 guitars, microphone, drum kit, was running you about $350 to $400.
I remember getting it for $69 at Kmart.
Yeah, that's because people weren't quite willing to pay that much money for it, so it sort of had to drop in price fairly quickly, and by quite a lot, and they're making a loss on the game in the end. But I just don't see the appeal now compared to a couple of years ago when it was on sort of top of its game. I don't see what's changed in the world of gaming. I don't see what's changed in the world of music that much. Because like a lot of popular music these days doesn't lend itself to a guitar, drum and bass and singing lineup.
Well, you want to know other games that Harmonix have done?
Yes, please. Go for
All right. Well, okay, so for the last 2 years, so last year, they did Record Run, Dance Central Spotlight, A City Sleeps, Fantasia, Music Evolved, and Samsung Gear VR. And this year, they're doing Amplitude and Rock Band 4.
Well, there you go.
But like they got their start in 2001 with Frequency. Their first major one, what I would say, iToy Anti-Grav in 2004, and then they did Guitar Hero in 2005.
Yeah.
And then it's just been Guitar Hero and Rock Band.
Yeah.
Like they since Guitar Hero...
So they developed both.
Yeah, they did Guitar Hero 2 and Guitar Hero Encore Rock the 80s and Guitar Hero 1. They did those 3 Guitar Heroes, and then I think that was sold off to Neversoft.
Yeah, because that's like my first one was Rock Band 3 Legends of Rock.
Yep, that was the first Neversoft one.
Yeah, that was one that I played.
Since when they sold off Guitar Hero, they worked on Rock Band.
Yeah, was pretty much the
same guys, exactly the same game almost.
And I remember because the thing is like the peripherals for both would work on each game.
Yeah,
because they were identical, like pretty much.
They were identical, except
for
World Tour where they had like the. Not the whammy bar. They had the buttons like the touchpad up.
Yeah, where you could slide
to the high notes.
You could slide between notes. Yeah,
which nobody really did.
No, I didn't.
No,
it didn't. It was supposed to make you feel more like a guitar. It just made you feel like a bit of a dick. But the whole game made you feel like a bit of a dick.
Just a bit.
Yeah, it was stupid. But look, it'll be interesting to see what they can add to make it more appealing to people now. Like everyone knows that it was a fad for a couple of years. It went by the wayside like most other fads in video games do. And the fact they're trying to bring it back is interesting. I want to see what they're going to add to make it more intriguing and make people want to go back to the series, possibly at E3 this year, which is when most games are debuted.
Apparently, it'll refocus on the core gameplay of the franchise, reducing the emphasis on music instruction that was employed by its predecessor. So, Rock Band 4 is the platform, updating the title with free and paid patches to introduce new features, instead of creating a Rock Band 5. And there's a possibility of backwards compatibility with guitar and drum controllers designed for the PS3 and the Xbox 360 versions.
Well, you would want that because you've spent all that money already on the peripherals. You want just the game to be a plug-in and play.
And they'll have existing compatibility with over 2,000 existing songs.
Yeah, so everything from each game library plus all the DLC, I would assume it'd be the case. Because you've already paid for all of that to not include it in something that I don't think is going to be that successful would be a real misstep. If they're going to make you pay for it all over again, then I don't think they would pretty much have anyone buying.
So the pro guitar and the piano keyboard are dropped from the game. From Rock Band 3.
That a piano?
Yep, it's guitar.
I don't. Oh, right. Yeah. Right.
The guitar.
Yeah.
You don't know the guitar?
No, I'm saying I do. I don't.
Yeah, that's the piano keyboard.
I don't remember like an actual piano.
Yeah.
Like you sit down and just sort of like press the colors. But yeah, I do remember. Yeah, the guitar was the thing. I never remembered a piano, but I remember like playing piano parts with the guitar. That's about all. And you didn't have to strum. You just sort of tapped at it, it just felt really stupid. But yeah, look, I don't know. Look, it was fun when everyone else was playing it and having fun with it. But once like all my mates got sick of it and I got sick of it, it was just like you never brought it out at parties. You never brought it out when you were drinking again. I don't know. Look, good on them for trying. And if they can bring something brand new to the series that'll make people go back to it, sure, good on them. I might even go back to it myself, but I really don't see this going down that well and then making any money off of it, to be honest.
Well, they're apparently they've got a massive budget. Like they've got a much larger budget for top tier songs. So chances are you'll hear a lot more. A lot more of those sorts of songs that you usually wouldn't hear. Which have they got Stairway to Heaven?
I can't remember if it was or
Immigrant Song. There was like those sorts of Led Zeppelin songs. I don't think they do.
No, I'm trying to remember if there's any Led Zeppelin. Like I remember, like they got Metallica to sign on and that, and the only real like drama I ever heard from like Guitar Hero was a Nirvana song, and Courtney Love tried to sue them.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, if you bought a Rock Band song, it should be yours in Rock Band 4. Everything that you have already exported will come over.
Okay, that's a good.
So at least like they're trying to get all the different songs from all the older games into the new game.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That'll bring people back. I just need something that makes it being on the new gen consoles worthwhile.
At the moment, I can think of nothing.
No, and the only thing I can think of maybe with the Xbox One is some sort of Kinect integration. What that would be, I have no idea. But
yeah, what stage presence?
I got nothing, man. Like that's the only thing I could see. Like they would use the Kinect for like, okay, say you didn't have the microphone.
Yes,
you could use the Kinect as the microphone, but I don't know.
You probably could anyway.
Yeah, I don't know how well it would pick up you from like say halfway across a room. I know it works really well when you're like sort of directly in front of it.
Yeah, when you hear the.
Yeah, you're gonna have like a lot of interference coming from the guitar and the tapping and the drum kit. And that.
Exactly.
So I don't know, but yeah, I just think they need something. If they can present something that I can't think of to make it worthwhile on the current gen console, sorry, not next gen, then maybe it'd be worthwhile. But other than that, I really think it's a franchise and an idea that sort of it's been passé, I believe is the word, for a few years now, and I don't see it coming back in like sort of the way it really took over in sort of the 07, 08, 09 period. It was massive.
Yeah, the 2006 to 2008 period.
It was
that was where it was king.
It was the shit.
I reckon it's dropped off, and like it will sell because people are nostalgic as hell. But I don't think it will be the new thing that everyone will be talking about.
Nostalgia only gets you so far.
Exactly. Nintendo's known that for a while. It doesn't stop them, but
it doesn't stop them. They're pretty good at plugging into our nostalgia and getting as much money out of it as they can.
Oh, damn straight. Our bloodstream is just a money stream for them. Just nostalgia. Just like put the needle in and just take out as much as you want. Yeah.
So look, that's an interesting development. We'll see what happens at E3, but I reckon we'll probably move on a little bit from that. That's something I just wanted to sort of touch on. Like, it was an interesting sort of news story when I heard. I'm like, oh, Rock Band's coming back. Okay, fair enough.
Well, anyway,
we'll see what happens
after that. We'll take a break, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon we'll head for a break and we come back.
We've only been talking for like 20 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah, we'll come back and we'll probably be talking a bit of Steam VR news. Big news on that front. And yay, Steam! Lord Gaben.
Oh, hang on, wait, I got something for that. Perfect.
And we'll be talking a bit of GTA as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You
know I love talking GTA.
But it got delayed.
That's what we're talking about. That's awful.
All right. So anyway, we're gonna play a song. We'll be back right after it. So you're listening to Swing Gamers on radio on 3SSR. And we're back, but not for long. You're listening to Swing Gamers on radio on 3SSR, and turns out we're getting kicked out early.
Yeah, we are.
So we expected our show to go between 6 and 8. Turns out they've changed it on us, and so we're going to have to talk with management. But anyway, so you've listened to us for an hour. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
You can find out more about Swing Gamers and what we do on our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/swinggamers. We also have a YouTube channel, so you can check that out at youtube.com/swinggamers. We have a Twitter, which you can get at twitter.com/swinggamers. We have an Instagram. You can get at instagram.com/swinggamers.
So essentially, just search Swing Gamers and then
most social network,
just like, follow, subscribe to everything.
Yeah,
and then you're good.
This will be put up on YouTube,
It will be.
As well as our segues, which we have every week at the start of the week, telling you what's happening. So I highly recommend you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That will include some other videos as well down the track, gameplay footage and that sort of stuff.
Yep.
You know, like the media sort of thing. We know a few people definitely love to, just sit back and watch a couple of YouTube videos, which are funny. So hopefully we can do something similar, except maybe not quite as funny.
Indeed.
Because we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are depressed.
Good, Sean. Good.
You're like, I don't want to leave.
No.
So
anyway, we're going to be heading off in about 2 minutes.
Well, we're heading off now.
Yeah, pretty much. So from now on, you can tune in live on 3ssr.org or the app, or tune in from 5
until 7 until otherwise specified.
Every Wednesday Arvo. So that is apparently our time. We weren't informed of that.
Yeah, we're gonna have a chat to that. Yeah,
we are. But stuff, until then, guys. Politics. Like I said, this will be going up on the YouTube channel possibly the day or two after we stream it live
tomorrow,
on
Ricki.
Wednesday. Okay, so I'll go home and edit it tonight. I can't talk. But yeah, so I guess we were going to talk some GTA, but we'll have to save that for next week. Oh god, it's happening again.
Perfect.
Please don't.
That's okay. So anyway, we will leave you with that air horn, and we will speak to you guys next week. You can find us on YouTube again. As always, you are listening to Swing Gamers on radio on 3SSR. My name is Sean.
I am Ricki.
And we'll see you next week. Game on.
That was some probing.
Some graphic stuff.
Not that we'd see it, because we're Australian.
We have YouTube, though. We can just YouTube.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Or you can just say your Steam's from the US or something.
Okay,
like that.
that's a topic we can talk about today. Censorship in Australia.
Oh, no.
No,
we're not opening this can of worms.
No. I think we can have a mature, reasoned conversation about this.
I don't.